Do you ever just have to take like a long ass shower and think about all the things you didn't let yourself deal with throughout the week? That was me like 10 seconds ago. You will not fucking believe what just fucking happened to me. I'm so pissed. Yesterday I looked at my schedule and I saw that I was gonna work today at like 7 a.m. and I was like, I closed yesterday, so I was like, oh fuck, you know, I only get like 3 hours of sleep. Fuck it. So I go to sleep. I set my alarm for 7 a.m. I get up in the morning. I look tired as fuck, so I put some concealer under my eye. I put on some lipstick, a little bit of blush, you know, trying to look like a half decent human being at work. And I come up to the door of my job and I'm like knocking, I'm like texting people and be like, yo, what the fuck, open the door at like 7 in the fucking morning. And I'm like, yo, like there's nobody here, like there's really nobody here. Either someone is really late or I don't really work today. So I sit down somewhere and I check my schedule. And bitch, I was supposed to come here at 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'm supposed to come today at 6 p.m. So I woke my ass up with 3 hours of sleep. I fucking took an Uber, spent money on an Uber to get over here. I waited almost like an hour and 30 minutes for someone to open the fucking door. And I don't even work today. And I didn't even bring some cash with me for me to like have like a good breakfast or something like that, you know, at least I could have some breakfast. I was gonna get some waffles. I left my fucking wallet at home. What the fuck? Literally, this happens to me so often. Like for some reason I'll look at the date and I'll look at the time that I'm supposed to work, and then I'll like end up like thinking that the day of tomorrow is like the schedule for today, and that happens to me so frequently for some reason, and I don't fucking understand why I'm such a like less than half decent human being. Like, come on. But at least it's a nice morning. It's gonna be hot as shit in about 2 minutes. And I'm gonna have to walk home because I'm not gonna spend another fucking whatever money I have to spend to get home. At least this gives me a reason to vlog because I haven't posted a video in 2 weeks. And I've been kind of feeling like shit. Like I've been psyching myself out. I guess it's mostly because of the views of the other video that I had. Like one or two videos before this. And it was like a lot of views, like in my eyes it was like 2,500 views, and I was like, oh shit, like people actually see my videos. Like it never really like clicked with me, because I'll see like someone subscribe, but like it wouldn't click in my head as like someone actually watching my videos. Or like I'll see like 100 views and I'm like, oh, I probably like refreshed my video 100 times, or I could like psych myself out in that way, and I could like think of it that way. And so I never like really legitimately like saw 100, like the 100 views that I would have, or like the 50 views that I would have, and think First Street Station, and think, oh, that's like 100 people watching my video. I would literally be like, oh yeah, like I watched this video or refreshed my video a bunch of times, like during editing and stuff like that. That's probably why it's at 100 or whatever. But then I saw the train is approaching First Street Station. Then I saw 2K, and I was like on one of my like videos, and I was like, oh, I definitely did not refresh this 2,000 times. And like for the next week or like 2 weeks, like I was trying to figure out to make another video. I made like kind of like a shitty video with my friend because I didn't know how to figure out the cam situation at that time for some reason. And then I just like stopped because I'm like, oh my god, like people will actually like I don't know, like I always felt like nobody's gonna see shit, you know, like I'm just gonna post these dumbass videos and then like nobody's ever gonna know and it's all gonna be a secret. But no, like social media is a thing, like it's real. And I'm happy that people like actually like saw my video. I feel like that's a very cool feeling. But I'm also kind of like, oh, like now I have to be legit. You get feeling. Which is not true, because it's like, bitch, like those motherfuckers aren't coming back. Like that was a one-time, you know, that was a one-time opportunity. Like, don't feel special, don't feel cute. But I don't know, like for a whole week and a half I was like, I have to like, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm actually complete shit, and like people are gonna, you know, be watching me and be like, oh, who the fuck is this fucking bald-headed ass bitch? Why the fuck is she making videos? Like, why is she on here? On my
the train is approaching.
But then I realized, you know, like I'm not really that special, so you know, and I'm gonna just post videos. I should just, you know, keep on keeping on doing me. Someone's coming into the bus, so I'm stopping this now. Okay, I'm editing my video, and tell me how I looked through my footage and the majority of the story for this video got deleted. Like, I was gonna tell you guys what happened after I like stopped the vlog, because I didn't want to like film in front of someone, because someone was coming in the train. It was like an empty train, and I'm gonna have to explain it again. So I'm just gonna make it like real short this time, because I honestly like don't like thinking about it or talking about it too much. Like at the time when I made the video originally, I just felt like I needed to get something out of my chest. That's already been done, so I'm gonna spare you like every single detail, but I'm still gonna tell you the story, because you know there would be no ending to this video. So basically, a guy comes in and he sits down next to me. Mind you, this is like a huge like empty train, and like the chairs are really close together, so he's sitting right next to me, and he goes like, hi. I'm like, hey. And he goes like, oh, you're really pretty. I'm like, thank you. He's like, oh, you're gorgeous. I'm like, thanks. And then he asks me questions. He goes like, oh, like, where are you from? You know, like the questions people ask you when they're trying to like put down. And then I'm go like, oh, I'm from such and such, whatever. After a while it gets quiet, so I just like turn around, and then he goes like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? And I'm just like, yeah. And then he goes like, oh, but you know, it's summer, and like you're supposed to have fun in the summer and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, like I'm good, thanks, no. And he's just like, you know, why, you know, it's summer, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, thank you. And then I like look away from him, and then he tells me like, oh, do you like girls? Are you a lesbian? I'm just like, no, I'm not a lesbian. Which is like, okay, just because someone doesn't like you or doesn't want to cheat on their boyfriend for you doesn't mean they're a lesbian, but okay, whatever. He's like, oh, okay, whatever. He stays quiet. I turn around, because at this point he's making me uncomfortable, because like, that's it, like, get away from me. Like, I don't understand. There's like a huge train, there's so much space. Like, do you really need to be sitting next to me right now? Like, just personal space. Like, if I'm with talking to people, I have no issue with talking to people. It's just that like your intentions were clear, and then like I gave you the answer of like, I'm already taken, I'm not interested in your advances, like, can you move on? He goes, oh, like, can I kiss you? Can I give you a kiss? And I'm like, no, you can't. And he's like, oh, like, let me kiss you, and I'm just like, no, you can you like not do that? I don't want to kiss you. And I turn around at this point, like full like facing away from him, because like I want to look out the window. I'm gonna leave. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna leave the next stop, because this guy's like making me super uncomfortable, and I just don't want to be here right now, and I hope like he doesn't follow me or something like that. And whatever, like, as we're rolling into the next stop on the train, and I'm about to get off, he reaches over and he grabs my boobs, and I'm like shocked. I get up and like I slap him on like his chest and stuff like that, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he says nothing. Like, this guy's a fucking psychopath. He says nothing, and then he gets up, and I'm just like, oh my god, you're such a fucking bitch. Like, why would you do that? Whatever. I'm like calling him a pussy ass bitch and everything. because I'm pissed off. And he gets up and he just leaves. Like, he leaves in the next stop. And I sit there in like utter befuddlement at like what just happened, because like I couldn't, like I literally like burst into tears after he left in the train, because I just felt like so fucking violated, and I felt so disgusting, and so like, oh, you're so fucking stupid, you should have moved, you know, like you should have moved out from next to him or whatever, or you should have hit him harder, or like whatever. Because every single time, like, this has never happened to me. I have walked like down the street like at 4 in the morning, like I've gotten cat calls, I've had people like follow me home in their cars, but nothing's like physically happened to me. Like, nobody's ever tried to touch me or like succeeded in touching me. So to me, like in my head, I was always like, oh, like if anybody ever did something to me, like I would whoop their ass and stuff like that. That's how I like to think or whatever. I go like, oh, I'm gonna whoop his ass, whatever. But when it happened, I was like so shocked and I felt so vulnerable that I ended up doing really like nothing, and it just made me feel like shit about myself. So like after that, after like I was crying or whatever, I called my boyfriend, and he was like really worried because I was crying and I couldn't like even speak. And he goes like, oh, you need to like call like the security, like you need to call the police, whatever. So I go over to the next station where the securities are usually for that train, and I told them everything that happened. By the way, if this ever happens to you on a train, make sure you get the train number or bus. Make sure you get the train number and like the stop that he got off on, or you got off on, or she got off on, and make sure you get the did I say the time? Yeah, the time. Yeah, get the time too, because they could not find the train that we were on for the surveillance footage, because I do not have the number of the train, which is like not something that like anybody's ever told me to look for. But I did have the time, so they did, and the station, so they did get me surveillance footage of what the man looks like, but nothing that is like of evidence or anything like that. And they go and they tell me, oh, like, yeah, is this him? Like, can you identify him? Whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's him. And they go like, oh, we're gonna send a detective over to look for the other footage of him actually doing the act, and then we're gonna have the detective call you and see if you like want to press charges or whatever. If you do want to press charges, then you guys will end up going to court. If you don't want to press charges, then you know, the move stops right there. And I'm like, okay. And then the like police come and they give me police report, whatever. And I was kind of shook, because I actually told the police guy, I'm like, oh, I don't know if like I want to press charges. And he was like, oh, why? And I'm like, because like, what if I press charges and then like he wants to like take revenge on me? Like I am not for retaliation. Like I just want to live my life. Like I don't want to really deal with this. Like, and then he goes like, yeah, but what if like he realizes like, oh, this girl didn't do anything about it, so I'm just gonna do it again, and like he like catches you alone again. Or like as my mom was saying when I came home and I talked to her about it, he's like, well, he probably did that to a bunch of other girls, like, so that's not okay. Like somebody can't touch you, can't just touch you like that. And I'm just like, oh, like I don't know, because I don't know if I would be more scared of him if I didn't press charges or if I did press charges. Like I have no idea what would make me feel like shit more. Like I wish there was a way that I could just like not show up, like press charges, but like not actually show my face in the court or whatever, just because like I'm pretty sure he's done it to other girls, so I don't think that I would be identified. But like this whole situation just sucks, and I felt like shit for a long time, and I'm already kind of past that. But yeah, like the footage got deleted, so here we are again talking about the same old shit. Like I wanted to finish the video, but I couldn't like keep the same like happiness that I was feeling in the morning, or the same like, you know, because it was the morning, even though like I woke up late and like that stupid shit happened, I was still like in a better mood. And then after that, like my whole mood was ruined, like my day was ruined, like I felt like shit. And so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like everything's all fucking honky-dory, right? So that's why I'm talking about this. And also because I just feel like I couldn't imagine like how many girls like he's done that to, or like how many girls have gone through the same thing. And I know it's not like a huge like deal. I know people have gone through worse. I know I could have been worse. I know there's girls out there that have gotten raped, you know, like stuff that's really serious, like very traumatizing shit. But I feel like a lot of girls don't talk about like things like this. Like even though it's small, like he you know, he touched my chest, like that is a violation. Like everyone can agree with that. That's a violation of like my privacy, and it's a violation of like my personal space. And he touched me without my consent. I feel like a lot of women feel like stupid talking about this, like, oh, like it's such a fucking small thing, like why should I make a big deal about it, like it's so dumb or whatever. And so they keep it to themselves. But I feel like it's important for people to be like, what the fuck, you know, that wasn't okay, like, and like you know, like people need to deal with those repercussions. I don't know if I'm gonna be pressing charges. The detective hasn't called me, and it's already been like 3 days since the video, but you know, we'll see how I feel. I don't know if I really want to deal with that. I don't know if I want to deal with the potential retaliation. I just don't want to see him again. And like the police were giving me like a lot of tips, like, oh, like, you know, it's like very early in the morning, like don't go to the train alone, go to the train with someone. And I'm just like, yeah, again, it's 7 in the morning, I had to go to work, so there was no way I was going to be able to like get someone to come with me. Like nobody's gonna wake up at 7 in the morning to walk me to the train just so I can go to work every morning. It's not gonna happen. Like it's not a thing. It was like, oh, like if you ever feel uncomfortable, like you can call, you know, you can call the authorities on the train phone or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I felt uncomfortable, but I didn't, like, he hadn't done anything yet, so it wasn't as, like, at the end of the day, the guy was just talking to me. Do you get what I mean? He hadn't done anything until he did something. And so I wasn't gonna, like, because the train phone is like right in front of the seats where we're sitting at, so I could have pressed that, and like we're on a closed train, like with no way out, completely empty, and you really think I'm gonna provoke this guy by calling the authorities right in front of him just for talking to me? Like I don't see how that would be better. I don't see how that would make the situation better. If anything, like, you know, worst case scenario, like something worse could have happened to me, or, you know, best case scenario, maybe he would have been scared and he would have been like, oh shit. But what if he really was just a guy that was just trying to flirt with me? That's just really awkward. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna call the authorities or securities every single time I feel uncomfortable. That's not how things are going to go down. And they were like, oh, like I do carry a pepper spray around me. And then this time, since my mom, my aunt had just come from Cuba, like I gave her the pepper spray so she could go explore the city and feel safe. And I've never had to use my pepper spray, so I didn't have a problem handing it over to her. But that's when things happen, when you least expect it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the remaining of this video. Sorry if this was kind of like a bummer. Thank you so much. I honestly really appreciate, like, even just views, like, or just like feeling like yeah, like people maybe like my content. Even, you know, maybe people are interested in like watching a whole video like throughout. Like it makes me feel kind of cool. So thanks. Bye.